Every case has a story, a fall, a fracture, a fight to get back up. But behind every recovery is a system, a strategy, and a team that moves fast when it matters most. This is Case by Case with Aaron Shaw and Claudia Wilson. Real challenges, real recoveries, and the systems that make them possible. An Injury Guard Solutions production.
Okay, let's unpack this. Imagine trying to navigate a really complex system, something that's supposed to be your safety net, right, when you're most vulnerable. We're talking about recovering after getting hurt at work. It's often, well, way more complicated than you'd think. Lots of moving parts. So today, we're doing a deep dive into how injured workers actually get the essential support they need.
Yeah, what's really fascinating, I think, and maybe often missed, is just how crucial the workers' comp system is. Specifically, how something called durable medical equipment, or DME, plays this huge role in getting someone back on their feet. And, one big hidden challenge right away, it's often the communication, or the lack of it, really, between the doctor prescribing something, the employer, the insurance adjuster. That gap can create real problems for the worker.
That's a perfect place to start. So, our mission here for this deep dive is really to cut through all that complexity, get straight to what actually matters. We're going to explore the different roles which are distinct but totally connected of employers and insurance providers in making sure injured employees get the DME they need. Think of this as your shortcut to getting up to speed on a tricky but really important system. So let's start right at the beginning, the fundamentals. When we say durable medical equipment, DME, what exactly is that? It's not just big machines, is it?
No, not at all. Essentially, durable medical equipment, it covers these vital medical devices that doctors prescribe. And they're designed to be used over and over again, their main job, to help an injured worker to restore movement, manage pain, basically improve their overall well-being. And to make it more concrete, examples would be things like orthopedic support, so braces, maybe splints, compression garments. Then you've got mobility aids like crutches, walkers, some of these wheelchairs. For pain management, maybe things like Tenaz S units, those small battery-operated devices using little electrical pulses, or cold therapy systems, even specific rehab equipment like continuous passive motion machines, CPMs, they gently move a joint, or even just simple therapy bands. Yeah, sometimes it includes home care stuff too, like hospital beds or patient lifts if needed. It's quite a range.
Okay, so it's really clear these aren't just optional extras. They sound absolutely fundamental. Often the key thing, maybe, that allows for a smoother recovery and helps someone get back to work safely and, reasonably quickly. Without them, things could really drag on. Now, here's where it might get interesting for some folks. The employer's role. Their ongoing involvement seems really critical beyond just, preventing the injury in the first place. Often underestimated, you think.
Oh, absolutely. You've hit on a really critical point there. Employers have this vital active role in the whole workers' comp process. It goes way beyond just safety rules. Their actions, or frankly, sometimes their lack of action, can really shape how well and how quickly someone recovers. So you can break down their main responsibilities regarding DME into about 4 areas. First, ensuring timely medical care. This means they have to report injuries fast, yes, but also actively make sure the employee sees a doctor quickly. And that includes getting recommendations for any needed DME right away. Delays in reporting, that's a common bottleneck that just slows everything else down. Second, they're really key in coordinating with insurance providers. This isn't just passing along forms. It's about making sure everyone's talking, the employee, the doctors, the insurer, so the DME gets reviewed and hopefully covered smoothly. Third, while obviously preventing injuries is goal number 1, they also need to support access to equipment. If an injury does happen, they should be helping the employee get the right gear, maybe even pointing them towards good suppliers.
And finally, this is crucial for getting back to work. Supporting the return-to-work process. That means making accommodations if needed, making sure the worker can actually use their DME at work, perhaps adjusting duties for a while.
Wow. Yeah, you can really see how directly those employer responsibilities connect to the worker's recovery journey. Not just physically getting better, but actually getting back to their job successfully. And it sounds like, being proactive there could save a lot of trouble later on. Okay, building on that, let's shift focus a bit to the insurance providers. Their part is obviously central, especially when you think about the money and the logistics of getting this DME covered.
Exactly. Insurance providers, well, in many ways, they hold the keys to coverage. They play an absolutely critical role in making sure injured workers get the DME they've been prescribed. And they also have sort of 4 key responsibilities. Number 1 is authorizing DME coverage. So once a doctor prescribes something, the insurance company has to look at the claim, check it against the workers' comp policy, and approve it. a common snag here. Sometimes the prescription doesn't have enough detail explaining why it's medically needed, which can cause delays or denials, at least initially. Their second job is facilitating quick approvals and deliveries. This is huge. Any delay in getting equipment can seriously slow down recovery. So insurers really need to work with reliable DME suppliers, maybe use pre-authorization to get things delivered fast. Third, they're responsible for managing costs and preventing fraud. They need to make sure the DME is genuinely needed for the injury, medically necessary, right? But they also have to watch out for fraud, like unusual requests, maybe super expensive non-standard stuff to keep the system affordable. And lastly, providing ongoing support. It's not always a one-time thing. Some DME needs maintenance, or maybe replacement down the road. Insurers need to keep assessing the patient's needs for ongoing coverage.
That sounds like a real balancing act for insurers, doesn't it? They've got to provide timely, essential care for the worker, but also be fiscally responsible and stop any misuse. It really shows you the complexity, balancing that individual need with keeping the whole system efficient. So we've got the employer, the insurer, but you mentioned reliable suppliers. There's often this crucial third player, right? A specialized DME provider that kind of connects the dots. What does their role mean for making it all, run smoothly?
Yeah, that's where a good, reliable DME provider becomes absolutely essential. They act as that bridge. They link the medical providers, the insurance companies, and the employers. Their goal is to make sure the injured worker gets high-quality equipment that fits their needs without all the hassle and stress. And they do very specific things. They work really closely with case managers. Those are the people coordinating the workers' care and the insurers to get those approvals pushed through smoothly. They're also the ones making sure the equipment is delivered quickly and set up correctly. A good provider doesn't just leave a box on the doorstep. They make sure it's working, maybe in the person's home or ready for them at work. And, importantly, they actually teach the patients how to use the DME correctly and safely. That education piece is vital for making the rehab effective and, preventing any further problems.
Right. So a strong DME provider really streamlines the whole thing. They're directly helping the injured worker get what's needed when it's needed and making sure they know how to use it. It really closes that loop for recovery. This whole deep dive, it really brings home one main point, I think, how interconnected everything is. The responsibilities of the employer, the insurer, and then having that strong support from DME providers. It's all crucial for helping an injured worker recover successfully and, get back to work smoothly. It's a complex dance and every partner matters.
And that really raises an important question, maybe for you, the listener, to think about. Just how much does the success of someone's recovery, their ability to get back to a full life, depend on the quality of that communication and teamwork between all these different players? I mean, when the systems work together well, the benefits are obvious not just for that one person, but for the whole workplace, maybe even for public health overall. Now think about when things are fragmented, when communication breaks down, versus when you have truly effective collaboration. Getting this right, making sure everyone works together effectively, it's really vital ongoing challenge.
Tune in to the next episode of Case by Case with Aaron Shaw and Claudia Wilson and listen to more insights, stories, and discussions around workers' comp, DME, and recovery, an Injury Guard Solutions production.
Care that moves you.